Hi guys, and welcome to the video on the full moon in Sagittarius that happens on the 17th of June 2019 at 9:30 in the morning, and that's based on London time. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Excuse my appearance, but I'm trying to grow a beard for the first time in my life. So I'm going to keep this up for 4 weeks. I'm in on day 6 now on my beard journey and I'm gonna see if I can actually grow a beard. I've never tried it in my life before, so it's something new that I want to try out and see if I can actually grow one. So that's totally irrelevant to this video. My appearance is not what counts, it's what's inside that matters anyway. So I'm going to give you some information about this full moon in Sagittarius. It looks really positive. Sagittarius, first of all, is the centaur. So half horse, the bottom half is a horse and the top is a man, torso up. And he's got his bow and arrow and he's always galloping towards something. And that's his natural state of being. So it's the journey that's fun. It's having something to go after and being passionate and empowered and following something and galloping and having that wind blow in your hair and having that sense of freedom. And it's ruled by Jupiter, which is the lucky planet. So this is going to be a fabulous full moon, which is going to broaden your horizons. It's going to inspire you. It's going to make life more enjoyable. It's going to lighten the mood significantly, and it's going to be awesome. So I've put the charts up here on the side. First thing I'm looking at is what actually illuminates the sun. Okay, so the very basics is that when there's a full moon, the sun and the moon are 180 degrees away from each other, and the sun totally illuminates the moon. The moon reflects that light, and that's why it's like a big torch in the sky. And for the moon itself, if you think of the moon as the feminine, as the goddess, then this is her time to release her energy and to hit her peak in the month and to release and to go, and she showers us with this energy. So that's why during full moons we really feel a lot of what's going on, and we feel the sign that the moon is in, because that's what really just trickles down and we're covered with it. And being showered in Sagittarius energy is not a bad thing. So first of all, the sun is in Gemini, which is also really positive. Gemini is an air sign. It's curious, it's inquisitive, it likes to communicate and to chat and to be funny and to make jokes and to try different things. It's about being open-minded. If you look at the glyph of Gemini, it's a Roman numeral 2. 1 and 2 is a relationship, first of all. Gemini is the twins, so it's about connecting with other people. But it's also a doorway that you go through to discover different ways of living, to discover different ways of expressing yourself, of creating yourself, of changing your appearance, of finding new ways of getting your point across. So maybe you've noticed in the build-up of this full moon, because the sun has been in Gemini for a while, and the moon, when it becomes a full moon, it doesn't just happen full moon ding at 9:30 in the morning on the 17th. There's a build up, and the moon has been waxing, so getting stronger and bigger as it moves towards this. So a lot of people, sensitive or not sensitive, are already going to be feeling this. So I always say that a full moon doesn't just affect you on the actual day of the full moon. I would say the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th and 19th are all kind of under the umbrella of this full moon in Sagittarius energy, because it's really strong and it doesn't just go away and it doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It builds up gradually and then it moves down again. So the sun, the thing that enlightens the moon and makes it shine is at 25 degrees. 2 and 5 is 7, and 7 is mind and creativity. And that works very, very well with Gemini, because Gemini is about using your mind to communicate, to get your point across, to express yourself. And to do that creatively is amazing, because it means that you allow yourself certain liberties when it comes to communication that you wouldn't otherwise give yourself. Like the freedom to say things that otherwise may be a little bit controversial, or taking a risk, making people laugh, doing things that usually you would find a little bit, should I go there, shouldn't I, maybe I should just play it safe and stay in my lane. Gemini doesn't do that. Gemini likes to entertain, and it likes to be witty, and it likes trying out different things. It's experimental. So don't be surprised if you're kind of doing things which you've never done before, and you're thinking, how did this come about? You know, there's that saying, there's nothing new under the sun. I always have disagreed with that, because yes, everything has been done. Every party has been planned. Every flower has been grown. But it's not true, because new plays are being written. New flowers are being bred as we speak. New people appear on planet Earth who have unique ideas, and I always feel that the best is yet to come, and that there is nothing new under the sun, in the sense that we are where we are because we've invented new things, and we're going to continue to invent new things, and life as we know it is going to change. Anyway, enough of that. So the sun hits the moon full on, and the moon is at 25 degrees, also obviously because it's exactly opposite the sun, and it's in Sagittarius. So the moon in itself is what gives you a sense of ease and comfort. It's the part of you that's very sensitive. That is how you feel. So I can relax. And when it's in Sagittarius, you feel most at ease when you've set a goal, when you're galloping towards that goal in a fun and excited way, and you're really enjoying the journey of achieving that thing, of getting to where you want to go to. Because the thing about Sagittarius, the bow and arrow, it has to be pointed at something that's a little bit, that has a bit of distance between you and it. So once you achieve something, Sagittarius is immediately off to the next thing. It's a fire element as well, and fire elements are often very, very intense, and they become fascinated with something, and they just want to learn everything about it, and they become obsessed, and they master that thing. They learn everything. They are totally an expert in that field now. But once they've mastered it, they're like, okay, well, there's nothing else to learn on board. What's next? And they totally leave that behind, and the certificates and the diplomas that they've got, and they're like, okay, whatever, what's next? And they move on to the thing that now captures their imagination. So the moon is at 25 degrees also in Sagittarius. So moving forward, and moving forward with your creativity, is the thing that's going to make you feel most alive. So try writing, try painting, try expressing yourself in a way that feels blissful and joyous. Seriously, because we all do have a voice, we all have something to contribute, we all have something to say. A lot of us are held back by, oh no, I can't, what would the neighbors think, and what are my parents gonna think, and I can't do that, I'll become a social pariah. But what's really important is that sometimes you just allow that fire to burn, and to say, this is what I feel, and this is what I'm gonna paint. There's that super funny episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, and the mother in that show, I can't remember her name. I think the actress is called Doris something, but she's hilarious. Everybody Loves Raymond, the mother with the white hair, and she takes up an art class, and she brings home this piece of art, And she's so proud of it, and she shows the family, and she's like, look at this, and it's great. And it just happens to look like a vagina. But no one says anything, and no one sees it until it's pointed out to them by someone else. So the wife notices it first, then she tells Raymond, and he tells everyone, and they're all very like creeped out by it because it's so sexual, and they've got kids in the house and stuff. And then they say to her, Mom, it kind of looks like, you know, female lady parts. And she goes, oh my god, I'm a lesbian. It's so funny. You had to be there. I tried to relay it as best I could, but that's the kind of thing. So you give free rein to your creativity, and then like her, she immediately, her kind of social conditioning and the things that you're allowed to do and you're not allowed to do kick in, and she's like, oh my god, what have I done? What have I created here? So don't be afraid of that. Create and be open-minded and do something that you really enjoy. The good news as well is that Jupiter, the lucky planet, and the planet that rules Sagittarius, is 7 degrees away from the moon. So it's a conjunction. The moon and Jupiter blend their energies together. And what that means for you, important, underlined, if you listen to what makes you feel good and calm and what gives you a sense of ease and comfort, you cannot go wrong. Good luck is going to come from actions you take based on a feeling of comfort and ease, and that's all you have to do. And if you act on that feeling, something positive is going to come out of that. You're going to go on a journey that leads somewhere positive. You're going to experience positive things on your journey to creating something. You'll meet new people. You'll broaden your horizons. You'll notice different things that you haven't ever been aware of. You'll learn. And again, there are lots of new things under the sun that you're not aware of, and you're able to discover these things during this full moon. It's amazing. I love it. I'm really looking forward to it because it's so positive, and it's on a Monday, so there's no Monday motivation needed here, because it's like you're going to feel super revved up and you're going to feel amazingly positive. Now let's see what aspects the moon forms with other planets. That's important. Aspects are things like squares and trines and semi-squares and quincunxes. And they are the red lines and the green lines and the blue lines in the center of the wheel that you can see. And they're basically just connections, either connections that cause friction, or they're connections that cause harmony and blending and support. And they form relationships with the moon to kind of color it and influence it even more. So the first aspect pattern that I see is the trine. A trine is when something is 120 degrees away from something else, and the moon trines the ascendant, which is the rising sign, which is the horizon where the sun comes up, and where Leo sits at the moment of the full moon. Okay, so the full moon in Sagittarius forms a harmonious relationship with the rising sign in Leo, which is at 19 degrees. 1 and 9 is 10. 10 reduces to 1 in numerology, and 1 is about me, I. Independence, pioneering, my ideas, what I think is right, taking action by myself, being the magician in the tarot, listening to my gut and my guidance, and then going for it and moving forward. So 1 is not the loneliest number because we've got the sun in Gemini. 1 is simply I have ideas independently that I'm going to pursue. And by doing that, because we've got a connection with Jupiter, you're going to meet other people along the way. Leo is another fire sign. Leo is a sign that likes to be in the spotlight. It likes to be seen. It's confident. It's spontaneous. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It likes to be spontaneous and have fun with the kids and to be in the limelight and to act and to dance and to be a leader, to be a director, all of those things. So the fact that the moon and Leo are blending their energies together makes this even more positive and more fiery and more powerful. So anything you do that just feels right is going to make you feel totally liberated and like life is on fire. And there are fun things that you can do in this lifetime. It's not all just paying bills and filling out forms. There are things that you can do which are actually super, super fun. I think that's the only thing the moon connects with. Yeah, it forms a trine, an opposition with the sun, obviously, and nothing else. However, Jupiter is conjunct to the moon, 7 degrees apart. So I'm going to look at what relationships Jupiter forms with other planets, because Jupiter and the moon are one here on this full moon. So Jupiter makes lots of connections with other things. First of all, Jupiter also trines the rising sign in Leo. And remember that the rising sign is your default setting. It's what you're naturally like. So you're naturally confident, you're naturally fun, you're naturally humorous, even silly, able to shine and be in the spotlight. You're not a wallflower. You own your power, you know who you are, and you bring the best things within yourself out into the light, and you don't make excuses for yourself, and you really are on the path to loving yourself, and you put your best foot forward, and you're as gorgeous and presentable and charming and likable as you can possibly be. So Jupiter connects you with that, which is not a bad thing. So job interviews, meeting the parents, anything where you have to make a good impression, you're really going to make a good impression here. Starting a new job, all the people who are starting at the new company here today on Monday the 17th of June, people are going to like you. You're going to make a really good first impression. First impressions last for a long time. So luck is on your side, so don't worry about that at all. Also, Jupiter forms a quincunx with Mars, Mercury, and the North Node, which are in Cancer. And then it forms a yod, another quincunx, which is known as the finger of God. So that's kind of important and significant, because a yod is kind of rare in the chart, and it indicates that the higher power, the universe, is kind of at work here, and it wants to give you something extra special. So Mars is ambition and drive and what I want. It's a 20 degrees relationship in Cancer. So I want to nurture other people. I want to do something that is really helpful to others. Mercury is the communication planet at 19 degrees, like the rising sign. It's 1. So Mercury at 1 degree thinks for itself, and it's in Cancer. So how can I express my emotions? How can I be creative and take what I feel and what I love and what makes me feel alive and what I enjoy and what brings out the best in me? How can I capture that in a creative way? How can I put that down on paper or teach it or paint it or create it in some sort of tangible format? Also, how can I take care of people and make them laugh and give them a little break from their everyday suffering? I think it was what's his name? Winston Churchill, who said, if you can make someone laugh, you're giving someone a little holiday. Because laughter is the best medicine. Scientifically, that's been proven. Because when you actually laugh, you move your organs around in your body and you actually loosen things up, and things that are stuck are actually flushed out and things like that. So laughter really is the best medicine. And also, you know, if you're stuck in worry mode, if you're like, oh, how am I going to pay this bill, and what's going to happen in this relationship, and just laughing at something takes you away from all of that, and it just lifts your energy. So Mercury is thinking about, how can I really be a positive influence in other people's lives? So that immediately builds good karma for you. You're not just enjoying yourself for you, you're also thinking about, how can I drag other people along with me so they can have fun as well? And that's good karma. You're putting out good energy, so other people are going to respond with their own goodness. So make sure you connect with others. They will connect back. The North Node is at 18 degrees in Cancer. 1 and 8 is 9. 9 is spirituality and completion. And in Cancer, it's very intuitive. So it seems unlikely, but through enjoying yourself and going on these journeys of fun and laughter and adventure, you're going to understand something that is fundamental, and that's a fundamental truth about yourself, and that will open a doorway into discovering your own type of spirituality. Not the doctrine and dogma of the church, but your own way to connect with yourself, or your higher self, or your aura, or the universe, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people in our society are disconnected from themselves because they are stuck in playing certain roles. I am, for instance, a 40-year-old man. I am a truck driver, therefore I need to be tough, I need to not show emotions, and I need to watch football and do all of the things that I expected of someone in my position. Totally disconnected from their own feelings. Again, it reminds me of that film, Analyze This, where Robert De Niro is a mobster, and he goes and sees Billy Crystal because he's having panic attacks. And Robert De Niro, as this mafioso guy, he can't have panic attacks, because if you show weakness as the leader of the mob, you're not going to last very long. So there are certain roles that are prescribed to us in life, and this journey that you're on here during the full moon is going to put all of that to the side, your earthy persona. Like if you're a teacher, you put on a persona to teach the kids. You don't just, yeah, that's why I wasn't very good at it, because I tend to be authentic. I can't fake it that well. So yeah, so if you're a mobster or something like that, you watching a mafioso, and you're the leader of the mob, by doing something fun and with your family and things like that, you're going to realize that you're not just your job, you're a human being, you're a person with your own ideas and your feelings and desires, and certain things that make you cry, and certain things that make you laugh your head off. And by connecting to yourself that way, you dive down into the pool that is you, into yourself, and you reclaim yourself. Because the world takes away from us, you know, it chips away at who we are. At 5, I really think we are who we're meant to be. And then we go to school, and then we're molded into the, I don't know, Christian fundamentalist worldview. And then we are molded by our parents who want us to become economy majors. And then we go to business school, and we're molded into what a good businessman looks like. And it's all preparation for life that is then supposed to happen. But once you're in that life, you now have all the characteristics and traits that you need to be successful in work, but maybe somewhere along the line you've forgotten about yourself. Not everyone forgets about themselves, some people do. Now, Mars, Mercury, and the North Node, they connect, they form another quincunx with an Arabic part called Part of Fortune. And this is something that's artificially constructed. It's a calculation between the sun and the moon, and we look at where the part of fortune lies, and the part of fortune is just a place of good luck. If you do this, you will experience good luck. We've got another 19 here, so that's now a pattern. We've got 3 19s, and 19, 1 and 9 is 10, which reduces to 1 in numerology. So 1 is about yourself, and 1 is about being independent and thinking for yourself. So that's what this full moon is. It gives you the opportunity to be on your own journey and to free and liberate yourself from the confines of your life, the expectations of other people, and it's you who determines your destiny. The part of fortune sits on the descendant as well, and the descendant is often in astrology what you're looking for. And both of them are in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of the humanitarian. It's an air sign, another way to express yourself and to teach and to be a humanitarian. So by having fun and going on your journey, Moon and Jupiter, you discover these ways of caring for other people, of expressing yourself in a way that has an emotional punch associated to it, so that really gets other people. You know, like if I watch Requiem for a Dream, which is all about addiction, and it shows me the horrors of addiction really graphically, that's going to touch an emotional nerve in me, and I will stagger out of the cinema going, oh my god, that was terrifying. So it touches an emotional nerve, and that's what every artist, I think, aspires to create something creatively that really affects other people on an emotional level. Mercury is also there, and the North Node. So by really getting in touch with the truth of who you are through this fun and spontaneous journeying that you do, you understand a core truth about yourself. If you then take that core truth and you don't just keep it for yourself, but you teach it to other people, you share it with other people, then you're being a humanitarian, and then you activate the part of fortune, and good luck arises out of that, because you're sharing your own insights, your own journey to happiness with other people. Therefore, basically, you're teaching other people how to be happy, how to find happiness for themselves. The part of fortune then sextiles Jupiter again, and that's how we have that green finger that is called the Yod, which is known as the finger of God. Jupiter also sesqui squares Uranus and the midheaven, which are in Taurus. The midheaven traditionally indicates what your vocational aptitudes are. Taurus is abundance and prosperity and security and structure. 5 degrees, it's financial freedom. Uranus is about being eccentric, doing things your own way. It's like the number 1 in numerology and like the magician in the tarot. And it's at 5 degrees in Taurus. So you have nothing to worry about financially. If anything, if you go on this journey of just, this makes me feel at ease and comfortable and joyous, and I'm going to go with that. That's all you have to do. It's not like you have to get yourself anywhere or induce a state of meditation where you have to sit there for 6 hours and really go deep. No, you just have to say, what do I feel good about right now? And do that. And by doing that, it leads you to all these places, and it brings you good luck and good fortune, including financial freedom and a potential idea of how you can use your own insights and beliefs to make money on planet Earth, which is totally down to you. You make the decisions, you have all the freedom. You get an idea of, maybe I can create a product and sell it, and this journey can even result in you starting your own business and becoming self-employed, or starting to do something on top of your existing job, because it comes to you here during this full moon. And ultimately, over time, over 6 months and a year, it is something that gives you financial freedom, because it does so well that you don't need the day job anymore. But it's something unique and authentic that comes from within you. No one can give this to you. This full moon is about you. It's about you going on the journey, not being spoon-fed, not being held by the hand, but you doing things and discovering parts of yourself that you haven't seen yet, and that are so wonderful and amazing, that they offer an ability to create and express uniquely in a way you haven't before, and to make money and to create financial freedom in your life, which you may have not have done before. If you're a man or woman of independent means, then very good for you. Focus on the creative side of things and how to express. If you're already the most famous artist in the world, but you're not making any money, then look at how to market and price your things so that you actually do have some financial freedom. Jupiter also forms a square with Neptune, which is at 18 degrees in Pisces. Neptune is the water planet of spirituality, imagination, dreams, anything spiritual and psychic and creative. In Pisces, it's in the sign that it rules. It's very self-sacrificing, it's creative, it's spiritual. And 18 is 9, spirituality and completion. So the square between Jupiter and Neptune is, what about all of those things that society has told me? What about my religion? What about what my parents said I could and couldn't do? What about being seen as shameless? Neptune squaring Jupiter will create a fog of confusion that, oh no, I can't, because that would make me seem forward. It would be unseemly. I would look unstylish. The only way to get through that fog is to listen to yourself and to say, listen, what makes me feel at ease and comfortable, and what really makes me happy? Not what makes my mother happy, not what makes my institution happy, the religion or the school or the government or whatever it is who you have to answer to. There's a great quote somewhere about, if you want to know who rules you, just think about who you have to answer to. Something, I've totally mangled that and messed it up, but just think about, who do you answer to? And that's your boss. And Neptune in Pisces at 18 degrees is going to try and confuse you and say, do you know what? You need to focus on what your boss wants. This life isn't about you. It's about compromising and making money and fitting into society. You can't just traipse around and be yourself. And that's exactly what this full moon is saying, that you need to traipse around the world and be yourself, because that's going to lead to financial freedom and creative freedom. So that's a great square. Jupiter sextiles the descendant in Aquarius. So again, if you take your insights that you glean over this full moon period and you share it with other people, you're being a humanitarian and you're being of service. So open your mouth, please, or write or paint or share what you've discovered with other people. Even if you think it's super obvious or inconsequential, please share it. We need to hear it. If you say, you know, I was feeling really good when I woke up on Monday and I had some time off And I just thought, oh, it would be so nice to climb the local hill in my area. And I climbed that local hill, and when I got to the top of it, a breeze came and it just blew all of the thoughts out of my head, and suddenly I had this amazing quiet and sense of well-being in my mind. And this light appeared and it shone in my mind and it lit me up, and it showed me that I could live a life that's full of health and passion and joy. And it came out of nowhere. And you tell that story to other people, they'll be like, where can I buy this? Where can I get some of that experience for myself? And you can have that experience for yourself by simply listening to what makes you feel good. And by sharing it with other people, you inspire other people to do the same. To break free from the shackles of society, the ball and chain, the things that hold you back and that determine who you are, which you really aren't. If you work as an accountant, you're not just an accountant. You're still Julia, the person who loves animals. You're not just an accountant. You're not just your job. You're not just what society says you are. You're a complex human being. Just bear with me, I'm just looking at all the other things. Okay, so that's what Jupiter touches. Then we don't have any other conjunctions between the moon other than Jupiter. The sun at 25 degrees in Gemini is kind of on its own there as well. I'm not counting the Mars Mercury North Node in Cancer connection. They have a separate connection through Jupiter, not the Sun. And the most important thing here is this Yod. Because the higher power, the universe, is stepping in during this full moon and is saying, this is not just a full moon, this is a special occasion where you can go on a fun journey and rediscover yourself and inspire other people and inspire yourself to really get back on track with your life and to live a life that's enjoyable. You know, when I worked at in finance, there was one of my colleagues, she was really wise in a sense that I said, oh, it was Monday, and I was like, I can't, or Tuesday or something, I can't wait for the weekend because then I'm going to do this and this and this. And she said, you're wishing your life away. What about Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? And I was wishing my life away. I lived for the weekends. So I lived for 2 days out of 7 days every week. And I was wishing my life away because I was waiting for the weekends all the time. And don't wish your life away. Live every day as well as you can live it. And you may say, oh, well, that's very easy for you to say. You're like self-employed and, you know, it's so easy for you. No, it's a personal choice that we all have to make and that we can make of what our daily routine looks like. You're much more powerful than you realize. Your life and your world is the way it is because of decisions you've made in the past. And today you can make decisions that are going to alter your future. You have no idea how strong you are. If you realize how strong you are and how guided and supported you are by the universe, you would never ever ever doubt yourself ever again. You're a shining beacon of light. You're a spiritual being. You're perfect. And I'm not just saying that to flatter you or to make you feel special. It's true. It's true for all of us. And the people who take the plunge and to say, do you know, I'm going to believe in myself and try this. And if it doesn't work out, if I fall on my face, then ouchie. But I'm going to try it. I owe it to myself. And you owe it to yourself to be happy in a sense, to not let society define you. And I'm just looking at everything else. Uno momento, please. Yeah, Chiron and Pallas, Athena have got nothing to do with this. So having to break through some sort of inner block to heal and to communicate, that's not there. Communication comes easily and it's fun. So we're not in that headspace. Also, you're not worried about relationships and security. You're simply in a good space having fun and worried about yourself and what you can do. And what is interesting is that Mars and Mercury at 19 degrees and 20 degrees in Cancer, they oppose Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. So by thinking about how you can take care of others, or how you can be creative, or by rediscovering yourself, or by establishing a connection with your inner child and that fundamental truth of who you are that I was speaking about earlier, jumping in the pool of yourself and diving down to the bottom where you reside and seeing what you truly feel, that then is a first step in terms of changing your daily routine and changing your work and changing the way you live your life so that you can have more freedom and more joy in it. Venus by itself as well, by herself, at 10 degrees, which is 1 in Gemini. So Venus is very out and about, skipping around. It's funny, I was on Twitter. By the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I have no followers on Twitter. It's weird, like Twitter just doesn't like me. It's Talk to Gregory. So if you're on Twitter, just go to Talk to Gregory. I post on there every day. I'm on Facebook. Go there, Gregory Scott 444. I do live readings on Facebook as well as YouTube. But I was on Twitter the other day, and excuses anyone who's sensitive to like crude language or any sexual references, just close your ears right now, because there's this guy, he was like, Venus is in Gemini at the moment. Anyone know why I'm so horny at the moment? And it made me laugh. Because most guys are horny all the time. They don't need an excuse anyway, do they? But Venus in Gemini likes to go through different doorways, and she likes variety, okay? And that's what I told him. And he said, oh, okay, that's interesting, because my natal Venus is in Taurus. So Venus rules Taurus, and Venus in Taurus is very sensual and very focused on the body and sex and connecting and feeling joy through physical connection. So the fact that he has his natal Venus in Taurus and the transiting Venus in Gemini is floating around saying, variety, try different things, go find new people. It did explain why he was feeling the way he was. So I don't know what your Venus is in, but Venus is very open-minded at the moment. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. Aphrodite is suddenly confronted with lots of doors. Door 1, 2, 3, 4. And she wants to go through every door. Variety is the spice of life as far as Venus, the planet of love and beauty, is concerned at the moment. So you're willing to experiment with lots and lots of different things. Be safe. Safety first. And enjoy yourself. That's really the gist of this full moon. Enjoy yourself. And we don't get that every day. We don't hear that message from life every day. We don't hear that message from astrology every day. We don't hear it from many places every day. So I'm telling you that the astrology is saying all you have to do is enjoy yourself, and it will lead to great opportunities and will open everything up for you. You reconnect with yourself, and it can have an absolute change in your personal freedom, your financial freedom, and your creative ability to really take your abstract ideas and to capture them on paper or cardboard or in clay or in writing or in performance, acting, dance, business, anything, management. So have fun. Have fun. Have lots of fun. Have fun. Have lots of fun and more fun, and make sure you have some fun. Okay. So that's what I get for you for this super full moon in Sagittarius. I hope you really enjoy it. I really do. Have a great time. If you would like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. I can do birth chart rectifications. I draw up your natal chart to read you and to be able to tell you your life purpose, your vocational aptitudes, what your strengths and weaknesses are, where the ego tries to block you, what's kind of destined for you and written on your forehead in terms of love and work and health and money, and where you have free will and how you can change things and how you can create love and financial independence and all of those things. That's why astrology is so useful, because it sits between free will and manifesting what we want, which is totally doable. It's a law of the universe, and kind of what the universe has planned for us and what it wants us to experience. So you can always make the best of things, and the universe is going to work with you, and if it wants you to learn certain lessons, they'll pop up anyway. So you might as well learn them while you're having a good time and succeeding, right? So to draw up your chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. And if you don't have the time of birth, there's a process called chart rectification. That's where I can work out your time of birth. So if you don't have your time of birth, go to my website, Special Services, and order a birth chart rectification with me there. I can then work out your time of birth. It's a lengthy process, so it takes me a couple of weeks to do that. If you would like a personal reading, then go to the readings tab and order your reading with me there. And in my personal readings, I do use the astrology, so your natal chart, but I also use the tarot and numerology. So you saw the way I combine the numbers with the signs here and the planets. I do that with all three divination systems. And I'm an intuitive astrologer and an intuitive tarot reader. And because I'm so earthy in my chart, I look at these symbols and then I get told things. It opens up a doorway into my intuition, and that's why I'm able to really give you a very well-rounded view of what's going on with you, because I look at the divination systems and I listen to my intuition. So if you're interested in that, then please order a reading with me on the website gregoryscott.com. Have a wonderful time during this full moon. Make sure you have fun. Hit the subscribe button and please share this video. Have a lovely Monday, and I'll speak to you soon.